University Challenge. Asking the questions, Amol Rajan.
Hello and welcome to University Challenge, where two more teams are about to put fingers on buzzers for the second time. Unlike round one, this stage of the competition is strictly single elimination. It doesn't matter how many points teams score or how narrow the margin of victory is, only winners progress. The team from Hertford College, Oxford are here tonight, having beaten the Open University in round one by a comfortable margin. Going into the music round, they had a 100-point lead and they pretty much managed to hang on to that for the rest of the game. They finished on 235 points to their opponent's 155. They struggled with British geography but scored full marks on bonus sets about theatre, the Bailey Gifford Prize and the England women's football team. And Mr Keskin's personal total of 8 correct starters was one of the highest of the round. Let's meet them again.
Hi, I'm Ollie Sauerbert. I'm originally from Bath in Somerset, and nowadays I live in Ware in Hertfordshire. And I'm reading for a DPhil in Autonomous Intelligent Machines and Systems.
Hi, my name is Omar Keskin. I'm from South London and I'm studying computer science.
And their captain?
Hello, I'm Daniel Whittle. I'm originally from near Manchester, but grew up in part in Saskatchewan in Canada, and I'm reading for a DPhil in classical reception.
Hi, I'm Rupavardhini Balakrishnan Raju. I'm from India and I'm reading for a DPhil in law.
Now, in their first round match, UCL faced King's College, Cambridge. And like Hertford, they pulled ahead early and stayed there. On the buzzer, the two teams were closely matched, but UCL did more with their bonuses, answering a very impressive 70% of them correctly. They slipped up on meteorology and literary criticism, but full houses on Hermann Hesse, fictional prime ministers and the quilts of Faith Ringgold ensured that at the gong they were ahead by 190 points to 145. Let's meet them for the second time.
Hi, I'm James Hall. I'm from North Finchley in London and I'm studying law.
Hi, I'm Ali Izzadust. I'm from Portugal and Azerbaijan and I'm studying for a Masters in Intellectual History.
And their captain?
Hi, I'm Tayana Soor. I'm from North London and I'm studying medicine.
Hi, I'm Jacob Finlay. I'm originally from Cranley in Surrey and I'm studying for a Masters in Public Administration.
Well, welcome back to you all. It's good to see you again. I think you know how this works, so we'll just crack on with it, shall we? Fingers on buzzers, here is your first starter for 10. According to the Oxford Companion to Classical Literature, which poet created a form of subjective personal lyric never equalled in the ancient world in its immediacy and intensity? A contemporary of Alcaeus, who also wrote in a form of the Aeolian dialect, this poet is mainly known through fragments, one of her few works to survive.
Hertford Whittle.
Sappho?
Sappho is correct. Your bonuses then, Hertford, are 3 questions on France and Wales in the Middle Ages. First, in the mid-1160s, in an early example of cooperation between French and Welsh rulers, Owain Gwynedd sent messengers to Louis VII of France offering military assistance against which English king?
So that would be Henry the First.
Henry the First?
Yeah, I think so.
OK. Henry the First?
It's Henry II.
Yeah.
During a prolonged struggle with the English King John, which son of Louis VII offered an alliance to Owain's grandson, Llewellyn the Great? I need a regnal name and either a number or by name.
Philip II.
Philip II.
Correct. Finally, in 1405, combined French and Welsh forces marched as far as Woodbury Hill near Worcester during the rebellion of which Welsh ruler?
Owain Glyndwr.
I'll nominate you. Okay. Nominate Keskin?
Owain Glyndwr.
Is correct, yes. Let's start the question now. The UNESCO-inscribed tomb of the Manchu leader Nurhaci is located in which major Chinese city? The capital of the Liaoning province is...
UCL Finlay.
Dalian.
No, I'm afraid you lose 5 points. Historically, it is sometimes known by its Manchu name, for example, in the name of a battle of the Russo-Japanese War and an act of Japanese aggression in 1931.
Hertford Keskin.
Macton.
Yes, the name in Chinese is Shenyang. Your bonuses then, Hertford, are 3 questions on the British architect Charles Holden. Holden designed Senate House in London's Bloomsbury in what architectural style that originated in the early 20th century?
Any ideas?
Early 20th would be Art Nouveau or Art Deco.
Do you want to go Art Deco?
Art Deco.
OK. Art Deco?
It's correct. Secondly, when designing the London Underground stations Arnos Grove and Southgate, Holden took inspiration from Gunnar Asplund's cylindrical design for the public library of which European capital?
Library, European capital.
Could be Stockholm.
Yeah, could be. That's a good thought. Anything else?
The name sounds...
Yeah. Stockholm.
Correct. Which sculptor received a 1907 commission from Holden for the British Medical Association building on the Strand? He is noted for several works in Hyde Park and St Michael's victory over the devil at Coventry Cathedral.
I have no idea.
Any idea?
Let's go to Waterhouse.
Yeah, that's probably a good guess. All right. Waterhouse.
No, it's Jacob Epstein. Let's start a question now. What place name links all of the following? A 13th century statute named after a Wiltshire town, 4 chapters of which constitute the oldest piece of statute law still in force in the UK, the network of sea-drowned valleys on New Zealand's South Island to the west of the Cook Strait, and a dukedom in the peerage of England conferred by Queen Anne on John Churchill.
UCL is at dust.
Marlborough.
Marlborough is correct, yes. Your bonuses then, UCL, 3 questions on chess notation according to FIDE, the International Chess Federation. First, which move is given the notation 0-0?
So castle, short side.
Short side castle.
Yes, short side castling or kingside castling. Next, D8Q would denote what specific type of move in chess?
So it's queening. So the pawn becomes a queen.
Queening.
Is correct. Finally, give either of the 2 symbols given as official abbreviations to denote a checkmate.
So like a hash.
Hashtag.
Is correct. All 2 plus signs. Another starter question now. Which Swiss physician and philosopher is the subject of an 1835 epic poem by Robert Browning? Born in 1493, he's credited with establishing the role of...
Hertford Keskin.
Paracelsus.
Correct. Your bonuses, Hertford, are 3 questions on astronomers. Noted for his observations of a supernova in 1572, which astronomer built the Uraniborg Observatory? It enabled him to increase the precision of his astronomical measurements.
Anything?
Possibly Tycho Brahe.
Yeah.
Yeah, should I nominate you? Is that right?
Sure.
Nominate Salbert.
Tycho Brahe.
Correct. Second, in a series of dialogues on cosmology, which Dominican friar argued that the universe is infinite and that there are therefore infinite Earth-like planets? He was executed on a charge of heresy in Rome in 1600.
Bruno.
I'm going to nominate you then. Okay. Nominate Keskin.
Bruno.
It is Bruno. Born in 1571, which astronomer's efforts to understand the orbit of Mars led to the development of 3 laws of planetary motion?
Kepler.
Oh, yeah. Kepler.
Yeah, it was Kepler, Johannes Kepler. Picture round now. For your picture starter, you're going to see the location of a city. For 10 points, name the 19th century war that was ended by a treaty signed there.
UCL is at dust.
1812.
It's the War of 1812, well done. Your bonuses then, UCL. For your picture starter, you saw the location of Ghent, where the treaty that brought an end to the War of 1812 was signed. Your picture bonuses are maps showing the locations of 3 more cities that also give their name to peace treaties. This time, I just want you to name the city, not the war. First, this city.
We are in...
So that could be Lahore, perhaps? Yeah, because that's near the border, isn't it?
Okay.
Lahore.
It is Lahore, yeah, that brought an end to the First Anglo-Sikh War. Secondly...
That's
Just bottom of Maine.
Yeah, or the bottom. Could it be Portland or Augusta?
Could be Portland.
I think
There was a treaty of
Portland,
Is there?
maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I think
Sounds right.
Portland.
Yeah. Portland.
No, it's Portsmouth. That ended the Russo-Japanese War. And finally...
Frankfurt, Worms, Mainz.
So it's like top of button. To card. No, I don't know.
I think Mainz, maybe.
Go for that.
Okay.
Mainz.
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 No, it's Frankfurt. Signs of the end of the Franco-Prussian War. Let's start the question now. What 2-word term has been applied to all of these? Cricket from 1890 to 1914. American comics from the appearance of Superman to about...
UCL is at dust.
Golden Age.
It is the Golden Age, yes. Your bonuses, UCL, are on the first works in the German publisher Bernhard Tauchnitz' collection of British and American authors, a notable early example of large-scale paperback publishing. First, Tauchnitz began the collection in 1842 with reprints of Edward Bulwer Lytton's Pelham, and which other major English novel first serialised in 1836 and 1837. Its characters include the poet Augustus Snodgrass.
The Pickwick Papers.
Pickwick Papers.
It was Dickens's Pickwick Papers. Also in 1842, Tauchnitz published 5 volumes of works by which English romantic poet, born in 1788. The editions included frontispiece illustrations of Zuleika from The Bride of Abydos and Gulnare from The Corsair.
Byron. Right? Corsair
Yeah,
is Byron.
okay, yeah, because I was thinking illustrations. But yeah, that's...
Byron.
Byron is correct. Tauchnitz's 1842 publications also included a single-volume selection of works by which Irish writer, including the 1766 novel The Vicar of Wakefield?
Goldsmith.
Yes.
Goldsmith.
Oliver Goldsmith is correct. Let's start a question. In psychology and neuroscience, what 2-word term is used to denote disruption of those cognitive processes that manage and control other cognitive processes, leading to deficiencies in planning, abstract thinking and behavioural control?
UCL saw.
Executive function.
No, I'm afraid you lose 5 points. It is closely associated with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder and may also be caused by stroke, brain injury or dementia. No, I'll tell you. I'm afraid it was executive dysfunction. Let's start the question now. I need the name of a poet here. Salt, a bar of soap, a large tuna in the market, and my socks are among subjects of...
UCL is it dust?
Neruda.
It is Pablo Neruda, yes. Your bonuses then are 3 questions, UCL, on Greek mythology. Which centaur was the son of the Titan Cronus and became a mentor and foster father to many Greek gods and heroes?
Chiron.
Chiron.
Chiron is correct. A student of Chiron, which son of Apollo became the god of medicine? He's often depicted holding a staff with a sacred snake coiled around it.
Asclepius.
Asclepius.
Correct. And finally, after his mother rejoined the Nereids, which Greek warrior was taken by his father, Peleus, to be tutored by Chiron?
Achilles.
Achilles.
Achilles is correct. Let's start the question now. Eric Cornell, Wolfgang Ketteler and Carl Wyman shared the 2001 Nobel Prize in Physics for their experimental creation of what state of matter, where the majority of atoms in a gas occupy the ground?
UCL Hall.
Bose-Einstein condensate.
Is correct. Your bonus questions then, UCL, are on Somaliland. The Republic of Somaliland declared independence in 1991, following the collapse of the regime of which dictator, who had been in power since 1969?
Siad Barre.
Siad Barre.
It is Siad Barre. What is the capital of Somaliland? It is the largest city in Somaliland and the second largest in Somalia after Mogadishu.
I looked at this on the map the other day and thought I need to learn this because this is the kind of thing that's going to come up. It's like Burgesa or something like that, but I don't know.
Okay.
Nominate Hall.
Burgesa?
Should have looked harder at that map. Bad luck, mate. It's Hargeisa.
Oh, that's it.
Berbera, the largest port of Somaliland, lies on which arm of the Indian Ocean? It is named after another port city lying approximately 260 kilometres directly north.
Gulf of Aden?
Yeah. Gulf of Aden.
Gulf of Aden is correct. I'll start the question. Falling on December the 26th, what country's Independence and Unity Day marks the proclamation of the results of a 1990 plebiscite in which an overwhelming number of voters opted for independence?
Hertford Keskin.
Slovakia.
No, I'm afraid you lose 5 points. Independence came in 1991 after the 10-day war against the units of the YPA, or Yugoslav People's Army.
UCL Hall.
Slovenia?
It is Slovenia. Your bonuses then are 3 questions on optics. Which optical phenomenon is described by a law that relates the speeds at which light moves within 2 separate media to the signs of the angles at which it crosses the boundaries between them?
Like
Is that just refraction?
refraction, reflection.
that-
Oh wait, no, boundaries. Is that diffraction? If it's
Refraction is
between
when
two
it
different.
changes angle. I'm just unless it's more
Okay, I
specific.
don't know because I thought 2 media would be diffraction. I don't know.
diffraction's
Okay, then
diffraction.
refraction. Yeah, that's fine.
Refraction.
Refraction is correct. Secondly, if the angles of incidence and refraction for light travelling into a material of lower refractive index are below a critical angle, what phenomenon occurs when no light crosses the boundary between the 2 media? I need a 3-word term.
Total internal reflection.
Yeah.
Oh, no, total internal refraction.
No, I think it's going to be
I think it's
reflection.
I think it's refraction because I remember always thinking I could be
Refraction
so wrong.
is a
but-
thing.
Yeah, I think it's total
Yeah.
internal reflection.
Total internal reflection.
Total internal reflection is correct. Yes, well done. Good job you didn't listen to your friend there. Which technology uses total internal reflection between 2 different types of glass to transmit light over long distances?
Yeah, fiber optic makes sense.
Fiber optics.
Correct. Let's have a music round now. And for your music starter, you're going to hear an extract from a piece of classical music. For 10 points, name the composer.
UCL Hall.
Dvorak?
No.
Hertford Salbert.
Richard Wagner.
It was Wagner, yeah. That was Wagner's Prelude from Tristan und Isolde. Your bonuses then, Hertford, are going to be 3 further preludes, this time for solo instruments. Name the composer of each. Firstly...
Anything?
Must be.
Bach. J.S. Bach. Is that in the both?
Oh, no.
Or Chopin.
Chopin.
It's not Chopin.
Liszt.
I think it's too early for
Take a guess.
It might be mixed up with Bach.
Bach. You want to go with?
Bach.
Yeah. J.S. Bach.
Correct.
Good one.
Secondly...
Alpinas. Alpinas, maybe.
I'll nominate you, I think. I don't Nominate Salbert.
Albinus?
No, it's Hitor Villa-Lobos. And finally, could it be Chopin? That's what I'm gonna go.
Take a guess.
Yeah. Should I go with that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Chopin.
Where's Chopin?
Hey.
Lovely, wasn't it? Now, let's start a question. Used of birds such as the osprey and swallow, what term describes organisms that are found widely across the world and, more generally, to mean free from national limitations or attachments? The word in question deriving from the Greek for citizen of the world.
Hertford Whittle.
Cosmopolitan.
It is cosmopolitan, yes. Your bonuses then are 3 questions on people who share a surname. One of the first neuropsychologists, which Russian is noted for his textbook Higher Cortical Functions in Man and his early psychology research with his mentor Lev Vygotsky? Anything?
Any Russian
Hey,
psychologist?
Pavlov.
Pavlov? Yeah, sure.
Pavlov.
No, it's Luria. Next, the 16th century rabbi Isaac Luria is known as the founder of the modern form of what school of esoteric mysticism? It seeks to understand God by interpreting the 10 sephirot or emanations.
Kabbalah.
Kabbalah. Kabbalah.
Kabbalah is correct. With Max Delbruck and Alfred Hershey, Salvador Luria was awarded the 1969 Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine for his work on what bacteria infecting viruses?
Bacteriophage? Does that sound right?
Bacteriophage. Or yeah, does that sound right?
I can't think of anything else.
Sure. Bacteriophage.
Good one. Yeah, that's
Nice.
right. Let's start the question now. Mighty Sparrow, Roaring Lion and Lord Kitchener are all names of prominent performers of what musical style? Originating in Trinidad and Tobago, it's characterised by a...
UCL Hall.
Soca.
No, I'm afraid you lose 5 points. It's characterised by a syncopated 2/4 rhythm, the steel pan drum and social commentary.
Hertford Balakrishnan Raju.
Reggaeton?
What are you guys listening to for a living? Honestly, it's Calypso. Let's start the question. Which self-taught polymath was awarded the Royal Medal for Mathematics in 1844 for his paper entitled On a General Method of Analysis? His work, The Laws of Thought, outline a form of algebra involving symbolic logic that is named after him.
UCL Isidust.
Sorry, Bull.
George Ball is correct. Yes, well done. Your bonuses then, UCL, are questions on the US historian Mike Davis, who died in 2022. First, Davis's 2000 work, Late Victorian Holocausts, examines the connection between laissez-faire ideology and climate patterns during times of drought and hunger. Its subtitle includes what 2-word Spanish term for a periodic climatic phenomenon?
Right, that's
El
El Nino and La
Niño?
Nina. So
Well, no, El Nino would make more sense, right?
El Nino.
Correct. Give the single word that completes the title of a 2007 work edited by Davis and Daniel Bertrand Monk. Evil Paradises, Dream Worlds of... What specific ideology characterised by deregulation and the withdrawal of the state?
Libertarianism? Well, no, it's one word, right? So I'd say
Neoliberalism
libertarianism.
is one word.
They're both one word.
I don't know. I'd say libertarianism.
Go for
rather
it.
than-
I trust you.
Libertarianism?
Libertarianism.
You guys are going to have a real fight in the pub later because it is neoliberalism, I'm afraid.
It's all right.
Credited with predicting the Rodney King uprising of 1992, Davis's City of Quartz is subtitled Excavating the Future in which major US city?
Well, LA, I think, is the Rodney King.
LA.
It was LA, yeah. Now, let's start the question now. What pejorative epithet is given to Elizabeth Stuart, daughter of James I and wife of Frederick V of the Palatinate, due to her...
Hertford Keskin.
Winter Queen.
Winter Queen is correct, yes. Your bonuses then, Hertford, are 3 questions on recent novels. First, associated with travel, what word links a 2022 novel by Cormac McCarthy with both a 1977 song by Iggy Pop and a formerly numerous species of pigeon that became extinct in 1914?
Passenger.
Oh yeah, Passenger.
Was the passenger. What is the surname of Demon, the title figure of a 2022 work by Barbara Kingsolver? In the American Civil War, this word was applied to the northern political faction, also known as Peace Democrats.
Peace Democrats. Was it Dixiecrats? Is that? Yeah. That's
yeah.
anything? Dixiecrats?
No, it's Copperhead, Demon Copperhead. A 2022 novel by Emily St. John Mandel shares its name with what region of the moon, the landing place of Apollo 11 in 1969?
Region of the Moon.
Tranquility. Is it?
Sea of
Sea of
Tranquility.
Tranquility.
Oh yeah. Sea of Tranquility.
Correct. Another starter question now. There's 20 points in it. What name is shared by a university city on Lake Onondaga in New York State and the ancient Sicilian city that was the birthplace...
UCL Isidust.
Syracuse.
Syracuse is correct, yeah, birthplace of Archimedes. Your bonus questions then are on biochemistry. Which biochemist received the 1953 Nobel Prize in Medicine for the discovery of the series of chemical reactions that bears his name? It is also known as the citric acid cycle.
Krebs.
Right?
Krebs.
Correct. The citric acid cycle is also known as the TCA cycle. For what do the letters TCA stand here?
must be acid,
like
right?
trans.
Citric acid. Wait. TC. Oh, I've gone blank.
I don't know.
Sorry, you can just pass.
Guess,
Citric
yeah.
acids.
Tricyclic.
No, it's tricarboxylic acid. Finally, what Greek-derived term describes a metabolic pathway, such as the Krebs cycle, that serves both anabolic and catabolic processes?
What's the name for a path? Any thoughts? No.
Diabolic.
No, it's amphibolic. Picture round now. For your picture starter, you're going to see an image of a historical artefact. For 10 points, I want the name of the civilization that created it.
UCL Hall.
Olmecs.
Olmec is correct, yes. That was created by the Olmec people, the earliest known Mesoamerican civilization, who lived around the Gulf Coast of present-day Mexico from roughly 1500 BCE. For your bonuses, UCL, you'll see 3 further historical artefacts, and again, in each case, I want you to name the culture that produced them. Firstly, the specific name of this European culture, named after an archaeological site in Switzerland.
Oh, so this is either the Hallstatt culture or it's the not the LaSalle culture, I can't remember what
I think
it's called.
Hallstatt is in
So
Germany.
It's
so-
I think it's the LaSalle culture. Something like that. Say LaSalle
I'm
culture.
gonna nominate Ali.
The LaSalle culture?
No, it's Latin. Secondly, this culture of West Africa.
It's the Benin.
Benin?
Bronzes.
If it's Benin bronzes.
Yeah, that.
Benin.
No, that was from the Nok culture. And finally,
I do not know. What does this look like?
I think South Asian.
I genuinely have no.
Marseille,
Say-
something like that. Maasai.
Yeah, Masai.
Maasai.
no, it's the Indus Valley civilization.
Oh, okay.
Let's start a question. Which American poet and activist is today best remembered for her 1883 sonnet, The New Colossus, which is engraved on a bronze plaque inside the pedestal on the...
UCL Finlay.
Emma Lazarus.
It's correct, yes. Your bonuses are on ethics, as presented on the website Existential Comics. All 3 answers are people who completed their major work during the 20th century. In a comic strip entitled An Ethical Dilemma Finally Resolved, who says, it isn't the consequence of an action that makes it moral, it is the intention of it. Her works include the 1958 essay Modern Moral Philosophy.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
No, that was
That's the only-
about, wasn't it?
Okay, maybe.
I
was
could be
thinking like
wrong,
more.
I've said that. I've made that.
Yeah,
Hannah Arendt.
No, it's Elizabeth Anscombe. In Ethics 101, the teacher asks whether it is ethical to steal bread to feed one's starving family. Which French thinker suggests the alternative question is it moral to hoard bread even though families are starving? Her works include Gravity and Grace and Oppression and Liberty.
Simone de Beauvoir? I don't know.
It's not from Slovakia, is it? No, it's not her thing.
I don't know.
Anything better than de Beauvoir?
It's all 20th century as well.
Yeah.
Simone de Beauvoir.
No, it's Simone Weil. Addressing Jean-Paul Sartre in a strip entitled The Ethics of Ambiguity, who states that existentialists are the only ones who can be authentically free because, quote, they have read our books.
This should be Simone de Beauvoir, right?
surely,
If it's talking to Sartre.
De Beauvoir.
That is Simone de Beauvoir. 3.5 minutes ago, plenty of time, Hertford. Let's start the question now. What SI prefix links the names of all of the following? A subgenre of history exemplified by Carlo Ginzburg's The Cheese and the Worms?
UCL Isotest.
Micro.
Micro is correct, yes. 3 questions for you, UCL, on the British-Bangladeshi dancer and choreographer Akram Khan. First, as a teenager in the 1980s, Khan spent 2 years performing in Peter Brook's acclaimed 9-hour stage production of which Sanskrit epic poem?
The Mahabharata.
Or Ramayana. If it's a stage production, what do you think?
Ramayana.
Yeah,
Ramayana.
No, it's the Mahabharata. Khan is known for his fusion of contemporary dance with which ancient northern Indian classical dance form? Its name derives from a Sanskrit word meaning story.
Bharatanatyam is modern.
Veda.
Yeah, Bharatanatyam.
No, it's Kathak. Finally, in 2016, Khan collaborated with the English National Ballet on a retelling of which romantic ballet? Set to music by Adolphe Adam, it is the tragic story of a young village girl who falls in love with the count disguised as a peasant.
Is this Indian?
I don't think
No,
it's
it's
exciting.
classic.
Like, I don't know, Capilla.
Come on.
Pass.
It's Giselle. Let's start the question now. What animals are primarily associated with the work of the artist Lewis Wayne? The subject...
Hertford Keskin.
Cats.
Cats is correct. Your bonuses are 3 questions on a painting. First, in the 1632 painting, The Anatomy Lesson of Dr. Nicolaus Tulp, the central figure uses a cadaver to explain the musculature of the arm to a group of 7 doctors. Who is the Dutch artist of this painting?
Rembrandt, right?
Rembrandt.
Correct. The frontispiece of an anatomical text can be seen in the lower right corner of the painting. It is thought to be On the Structure of the Human Body, an influential work by which physician born in Brussels in 1514?
Vitellius, I think.
Nominate Keskin.
Vitellius.
No, I can't accept that, I'm afraid. It's Vesalius, not Vitellius. The John Hay Library at Brown University owns a 1568 edition of On the Structure of the Human Body, bound in what unusual material? In a practice known as the anthropodermic...
Human skin.
Human skin is correct. Now, start the question. In December 2019, the Social Democratic Party politician Sanna Marin became the Prime Minister of...
UCL Finlay.
Finland.
Correct. Your bonus is then, UCL, are 3 questions on porridge. Believed to come from Tamil, what word is used in English to denote porridge is made from rice boiled until broken down? It's often used specifically to refer to Chinese-style preparations known in Cantonese as zuk.
Well, that gets rid of my guess. I was going to say kedgeree. Mild.
No, it's a type of porridge. I don't know. Say kid.
We could be.
Come on.
Pass.
It's congee. What short word is used across Slavic languages to mean porridge in a broad sense, but when used in English usually refers specifically to porridge made from buckwheat? Its restricted meaning in English may be influenced by Yiddish.
Kasha.
Kasha.
Correct. In the southern United States, what short name is given to preparations of ground corn boiled in water, stock or milk, similar to Italian polenta?
Is that not grits?
Grits is,
I thought grits is like porridge, right?
Yeah, grits.
It is grits. It's delicious, isn't it? Let's start the question. What 3 letters begin words with the following meanings? The sum of the chemical reactions that take place within each cell of a living organism, the branch of philosophy that is concerned...
UCL Saw.
MET.
MET is correct, yes. Your bonuses then, UCL, 3 questions on a scientific rivalry. Starting in the 1870s and also called the Great Dinosaur Rush, how was the rivalry between the US scientists Edward Drinker Cope and Othniel Marsh known?
No.
No, pass.
The Bone Wars. The feud included a disagreement over the skeleton of an elasmosaur, a long-necked aquatic animal of the late Cretaceous period, belonging to which order?
What's the fish dinosaurs? Any thoughts?
Plesiosaur, I think.
Okay.
Is a fish
Plesiosaur.
That's correct, yes. Cope and Marsh appear as characters in the 2017 novel Dragon Teeth, a story set around the Bone Wars, by which author, who died in 2000... At the gong, Hertford College, Oxford have 140 and UCL have 225. Hertford, I thought at the end you were storming back and it was going to be an amazing turnaround, but I think you're going to find it quite painful watching back because on a lot of those starters you were just a split second behind. Bad luck, I'm so sorry. But you've been fantastic contestants. Have you had a good time?
Yeah.
Would have been a better time if you'd won, but, well, we've loved having you, so thank you so much. UCL, that was absolutely incredible. I mean, against such a strong team, to get 225 was really impressive. I hope you could join us again next time for another second-round match, but until then, it is goodbye from Hertford College, Oxford.
Bye.
Goodbye.
It's goodbye from UCL.
Bye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.